Evening, guys. Welcome to Football Brownie. Hope you're well, keeping safe, keeping each other safe, and spreading the love during this pandemic because we all need a little bit of loving, guys. We all need a little bit of loving. Before we go any further, check that ticker bar below. Please like, share, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel. Remember, subscription is free. If you haven't done it yet, come on, you're missing the boat, guys. Please do it yet. And it's the Brownie and Dare show. Hi, Dare. Hope you're well, my friend.
Where are you? Can't see you, mate.
Leave it. What?
Your screen's blank.
No, it's not.
Oh, I can't see you. But yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good. Thanks, buddy.
Well, it's you internet.
Could be. You never know, mate. You never know. About to have a thunderstorm here. Big one. So maybe it's that, mate. Maybe it's that.
Okay, all right, no worries. Right, in fact, I just come back from my first football game today. First live football game for over 12 months. And
Right. Very good.
yeah. I enjoyed it. Welsh Cup, local derby, Merthyr Saints against Pendarren. And Pendarren ran out winners 3-0, even though they had a man sent off. It was never a red card. But so they played for the best part of an hour with 10 men, and they still won 3-0.
All right.
No, but it's good turnout. About 200 here. All
Yeah.
old old faces.
Didn't spot
All
Gavin
old
Williams
faces.
there, did you, by any chance?
No. Oh no, I've seen good old faces there. Fair play. What you been up to today?
Oh, I've had one of those days, mate. Right, Amazon turn up late, 8:30 when it's meant to be 4 o'clock. I've had a parcel out a load of wood to customers. Just one of those days, mate. Then a charity event with Jake Cox on West Ham Unofficial, raise a few quid there. Yeah. It's one of those where you fancy a beer and it's time to
I know what you're saying.
let it unwind, mate. You know.
I got to drive to Cardiff later, so I'm on a coffee, but I know exactly what you mean. Hey, I tell you what, your audio has improved.
Well, it's because I got an expensive microphone, see, Brown.
Look at you going up in the world. Look at the day's
Hey,
banter.
I got a green screen, but by fuck, it's hard to work out, mate. I tell you.
Yeah.
It's not fucking easy. You think you just put a green screen up behind your camera, but can never get the width and everything, mate. Anyway, it arrived 10 minutes before the show, so I've been sweating me nuts off trying to sort it out. I was going to give you a shock and have Upton Park in the background and everything, but
that would have been a shock.
I got it going. I did get it going, but then you got to get the light, and then it fuzzes, and I didn't have enough time to sort it out really. But these things need to be super wide. That's the trouble. Otherwise, you just sat on top of the camera.
Yeah. I think you need separate lights as well. Stand-up lights looking at you.
Yeah, but how far do you go, mate? You can keep going and going and going.
Right.
Can't in the daytime. It's fine. It's only in the night with your late show.
Oh well. I did one earlier, but anyway. We're fucked to restart the football talk this week. Well, where do we start? Bale? Everton?
Well,
where do you want to start?
I think we should start with what we've been talking about. First of all, Gareth Bale.
Yeah.
Looks dead in the water now that Real Madrid are going to let him out his contract. They don't seem to be able to agree, do they, on finances, which was always the fear.
Yeah, I know.
And nothing could happen until that was agreed or settled. Do you know what I mean? So
I'll be honest with you, I'm very surprised at Perez's stance on this. I really, really am. On one hand, he wants to offload the maybe unworkable players is not the right phrase, but offload the players who, let's be honest, aren't going to get a look in this season. Because he wants reinforcements like Mbappe and so on.
Trouble is,
it's very strange.
You got to change your manager there as well, so you don't know what Ancelotti's saying to these players either, do you? Is he telling Gareth Bale you'll play in the first team? Don't worry, and you don't know, mate. But we all know what Bale's desires were to get out of his contract. They've been trying to get him out of the contract. And the parties two just both can't agree. And I can see the point from Bale's point. At the end of the day, for the sake of one season, taking a 15 million when he's on 20, that's 11 million hit. Yeah. That's a lot of money for a year, mate, isn't it? It depends. It is a lot of dough, you know. So if I don't know, he was looking for a rumoured around 20 million, taking a 6 million hit, and Real Madrid only prepared to pay him 15. And apparently, they want it over 2 years as well, 2 years stage payment. So
I think that is the biggest sticking point than anything else. Is the staggered payments because then what doesn't happen if you think of it, that was one of the reasons why Cardiff City were very interested, was because he would have most of his money for that year from Real Madrid because of a payout.
Well, normally when you settle a contract, terminate a contract, it's in full and final settlement. That's the idea of a settlement contract, isn't it? So who knows, mate? Unless you're actually in Real Madrid, we get the sources telling us that. But at the end of the day, we knew it all came down to Bale wanted out.
Oh no!
He had 12 months left, and the two parties can't come to an agreement. You know, has Bale been allocated a squad number yet? Do you know? Or
well, I'll double check. Actually, I'll double check after the show, or maybe someone in the chat can check for us. But I was watching El Chigrito TV, which, as you know, Steve, is a Spanish show. For people who don't know, it's a Spanish show, not nightly. It used to be weekly, but during the pre-season, I think, because of the hunger, of transfer information from supporters, I think it's gone to like every other night now. The schedule is a bit weird, but basically the setup is you have five or six regular sports football reporters. And, you know, Spain being Spain, Latin blood being Latin blood, as the show goes on, they have a right old ruck and then start shouting and swearing, you know, at one another as the show goes on. And Bale, obviously, that come up. That's where, after watching it, I done the upload regarding the breakdown. But you even had Real Madrid reporters, press reporters, clearly saying on that show, we do not want Bale. He basically took the piss out of the club and out of the supporters when it was Wales Golf Madrid in that order, and we do not. They are very, very stubborn regarding that. So it would not surprise me if he has a rough final year at Real Madrid as well.
Well, he did take.
If last night's show was
let's be honest. First of all, he did take the piss. We all saw what the flag said. That was taking the piss, whether it's meant in jest or a bit of a dig or what. I think that showed how he felt, and also I think it was a kickback at the way at the time he was being treated by the Spanish and the Real Madrid fans, who certainly were having a right pop at him for listening to Zidane. Really, I think that's where it all started going sour. And so, yeah, I don't blame him for having a little dig myself for the treatment that he was receiving at the time. So, the relationship's over, really, isn't it? It's just about at the end of the day, it's all about money. We know what Bale wanted to do. Yeah, Real Madrid they've chanced it and said 15 million, and you know, things could change. You never know.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say that you never know. It can change. You know, if.
It's very strange how he's still not in training. That's a very strange one.
Go on strike, you think?
Can't go on strike, can he? Because if he does that, then they got reasons to terminate his contract. So that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But it's strange how he's not returned to Spain, and he's not in training and been seen. And so this is obviously a latest development. So,
or listen. As I mentioned last night on a video, or El Chicharito is, in my opinion, as an outsider looking in, it's like the marker of the TV world. It's a marker of a TV world. Was that show last night just an idea, just a symbol of the club?
Yeah, but it's not just.
Making it stand.
Yeah, but it's not just the show. You've seen this show. I haven't seen it. Right? I've got the information.
But we know what we know.
No, but I've got the information from my sources of what's happened. Nothing to do with the show. And the simple facts are they can't agree the termination fee, and so the show goes on until a contract can be settled. What's involved in that show? Does he get first team football? Is he left to rot in the reserves? Is he used for cleaning the toilets? Who knows? Do you know what I mean? But we have to wait and see, mate. You know, Real Madrid. Real Madrid could start the panic. Well, he's back. He's staying. He's training. Let's offer him the other 5 million. He wants to fuck off, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean?
I'm still hopeful, to be honest. I'm still.
No, I think it's dead in the water. From what I understand, it's dead in the water, mate. Real Madrid aren't going to budge. But then that's an expensive non-budget. It all depends what the manager's saying, of course. You've got a new manager, Ancelotti. You might say, well, I get me 15 million quid, with 26 million quid's worth out of him.
Yeah.
Can't see it myself, but.
Let's go on the chat for a minute. FIFA, hi, FIFA. Leslie, hi, Brownie and Daya.
Hi, Les.
Says, love to see Bale at Cardiff City. Can't see it happening. It's sad. Richard, evening, everybody. It's Williams. Bale training with Madrid. It seems he's staying, sadly. Tom Palmer, evening, guys. Hope you're well. Right. For legal reasons now, let's not mention his name, I don't think.
Well, it's all been mentioned everywhere anyway.
It has. Yeah, it's fair enough.
Even Everton's players are asking him to be named now, I see today. So,
you know what? It's absolutely disgraceful that they allowed another player of the same age. They basically thrown him out under a bus.
Well, not really. They have.
He must have had.
The way they've done it is wrong.
Yeah.
Because it indicated basically 2 football players.
Yeah.
So
I'm just going to go off cam for a minute, okay? I'm still talking to you, okay?
Well, I'm professional. Here we go again. Go on. Lost the signal now.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Anyway, while we're waiting for Brett, go on.
No, I'm just saying the way they done it was a disgrace, and
I wouldn't say it was a disgrace, mate. Right? You've got the mass media on your case, trying to find out what's going on. Okay, it indicates 2 people, so it wasn't handled very well, and no thought process has gone into it, is it? Right? What they could do is quickly come out with a statement. If that was my company or business, I would have quickly come out with a statement and said, we can confirm it's not Delph. Right? But they didn't do that, did they?
No.
So they left their own player in the firing line. Or do they have a motive for doing that? Good way to get rid of a player.
Yeah, I suppose so. Hey, you know what? I didn't even think of it like that, if I'm honest.
Yeah, well, he hadn't played much last season, did he?
He's fucking appalling.
Been appalling. So what a great way to piss a player off and get rid of him.
You know, to be honest, I was looking at that Everton statement. And I thought the first thing I thought, which was untrue, was the fact that they called him a footballer. Because Fabian Delph had been stealing a living as a footballer for nearly 4 years. You know?
But go back to the serious point of it.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something behind that, mate. Why they worded it the way they did. It was a very poorly written statement in the first place. In this world today, everything's all over Twitter and everything else anyway. So if you're into football, you know who the player is anyway, don't you?
Yeah, I know. I just find it incredible, especially after how Adam Johnson's career went downhill. But no, but footballers are still.
Yeah, but football is a football, mate. Football players' brains. I keep telling this. Football
Yeah,
players'
I know.
brains are in their feet, mate. Right? They ain't the brightest sparks, I tell you. So for people that see them all as superstars, but they're not bright superstars. A lot of them. Some of them are intelligent, but some of them are very thick. And how thick can you be to be? Come on, hey, I don't know, but you married a Miss Iceland. Come on, right? You're married a Miss Iceland, and you're sending text messages to underage girls. One more, and with how many millions in the bank? How happy do you need to be in life? Do you know what I mean?
It is mental. Miss Iceland, who's currently pregnant with you with your baby as well, and you end up it's, I don't know. They still must think of a mindset that it'll never happen to me. Do you think? Steve, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, mate. I can hear you in the fridge doing whatever you're doing.
Yeah, no, I'm charging my phone by making a coffee as well.
I thought you'd have charged your phone before you start your show, mate.
I was up at that game, wasn't I?
All right.
So, what do you think? These footballers, even after with social media and so on, do you think they just still think that it wouldn't happen to me, type of thing?
Well, not being funny, is it? Because he's a football player, though. Is he just being caught? Is it more of a thing because he's in the spotlight? If it was Tom Jones down there, not Tom Jones, probably worse, wrong name to use it. But if it was Fred Smith down there, down a Nag's Head, so, right? Does anyone give a shit? Not really.
Yeah, it's fair enough. That's fair enough.
But when you're in that position, you obviously got to be more careful in your life, haven't you? We don't know the circumstances, do we, mate? At the moment, no. Obviously, I don't think he's been charged yet, but that always takes time to come anyway in cases like this.
Yeah, I know.
But stupid boy in a very privileged position, very stupid boy.
And Leslie says, "Hi, Wilson, going to Fulham."
Yeah, I heard that.
That's a strange one.
Will
you come back down to a championship?
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Interesting.
Because I was you, and it was Brentford. He was on his way to Brentford.
Well, it's the merry-go-round at the moment, mate, isn't it? 1 minute they're going here, next minute they're going there. Another bid comes in. There's so much going on at the moment in the transfer market behind the scenes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Apart from it, West Ham don't seem bothered with it this season.
Sam Daly, Adam Johnson, Mark II. Yeah, I agree. Unfortunately,
yeah, it's the same thing, isn't it? It looks like it's going to be the same thing.
Yeah, I know. Okay, the elephant in the room we'll have to talk about it. Unfortunately, is Cardiff City. Now, I watched your show the other day with Nathan, Steve.
Right.
If I'm honest with you, I'm going to do a video on it, but I'm going to look into it a bit more. I've seen a few more information come out today.
Well, I haven't had a chance to look at anything today. What's happened today? What's the more info?
Well, I'm very surprised that the story has come out again, because this seems to have been done a long time ago.
Well, the reports I saw said it was in December.
Well,
why would the FA be investigating something that's already been investigated? That doesn't make any sense.
I know. And listen, that's why I'm going. Okay, go on. You go. You take us away because you've looked into it more than me. Go on.
No, I haven't looked into it. I haven't looked into it at all, really, mate. I saw the reports come out yesterday. The report that a couple of reports I read said the incident happened in December, and it was a case of lads, as they do on the academy bus, going to an away game. There was racism on the bus. Bananas were rubbed into the child's clothing. Names were used. The parents complained, and the kids left the club. Now, from what my understanding, only going by what I read yesterday, I'm not a Cardiff fan. It doesn't really bother me, to be honest. But obviously, I do like to watch Cardiff. But yeah, that's where the situation. That's how the report read, and said it was in December. So,
is it true then?
I think fans are starting to try and make out it's the same case. But if that was the case, surely that's already been investigated by the FA already. Cardiff City weren't charged for anything, but were given at the time recommendations for improvement.
Yeah.
And I think that's where people say it's the same case. I haven't seen anything in the media saying it's the same case.
Is it true that the kid involved, basically Cardiff City is stopping him playing for another club because they're asking for a transfer fee?
Well, I haven't heard anything. I haven't seen anything like that at all, mate. But as an academy,
I read through it very quickly, but there are allegations.
Yeah, but where did you read it? That's the difference. Where did you read it?
Well, I want to put a video again with it all up, so I will be doing that tomorrow. But there are allegations that saying that it's come up again simply because Cardiff want a transfer fee for this kid, and as
well, you don't get a transfer. You get a compensation payment. Mate. If a kid moves academy, compensation payment. Whilst he signed with one academy, there's a small compensation payment due between the two. I don't think you can stop a kid.
Just plain old.
Not from my memory. From my memory, back in the day, I'm going back 10 years ago or whatever now, but you couldn't stop somebody going to another club in that age group. Now, somebody's got Jonathan Davis is saying in the comments here, he's got more info than we have actually. 14-year-old has reported racist incidents, but according to the club statement, it was when he was 10, 11 years old. So that's even more worrying if it's happening when they're 10 or 11 years old. But why is it taking this amount of time to be reported then? If he's 14 now, so that's 3 years ago. So that's strange as well, isn't it?
I know. It's that's why I want to really look into this, and then before I do a video, rather than a quick hit, if you know what I mean.
No, it's all very murky, isn't it? Because obviously Bellamy case was clearly different then, and it's not the same incident at all because Bellamy was looking under the under 23s, was it, or the under 18s?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, something like that. An old age group anyway.
But it's hard to comment, really. The worrying thing for me is just basically what's going on with football's trying to eradicate racism from football. And my point with Nathan yesterday and the others in the chat was more that it's clearly not working. And how do you still solve the situation? Because if you've got kids being racist on a minibus, and let's be honest, minibuses are, and they're not being supervised. Maybe I did read a report that there wasn't a coach on the minibus, just a driver, right?
Yeah,
that beggars belief, really, doesn't it? And then now, if it happened when he was 10 or 11 years old, surely there was a supervised adult on the minibus. So you would imagine that would be the coach of the under 10. You would have thought so, wouldn't you? And he'd stamp on it straight away on the minibus and take control of the situation. But that doesn't seem to have been the case. But you'll now say there's trouble with this lad trying to get into sign for another club or whatever, and Cardiff City are obviously holding it. But I'm sure it can't be the case, because unless things are drastically changed in the legalities, an academy contract only lasts 12 months anyway. Hello? An academy contract only lasts, I'm sure it was 12 months. So unless he doesn't re-sign it, they're not held down to a player like 5 years.
Right. I don't know. Steve.
Yeah, I'm listening, mate. But you're blowing your nose. You're going in the fridge. You're walking around here, there, and everywhere.
What you want?
I'm losing track of where you are.
I'm talking to you.
Right.
Yeah. Stop being.
You froze now. You froze.
Okay. I've enjoyed myself this evening. Going to watch my first game since Marbella.
Yeah, good, mate.
So
good.
I do apologise that my phone battery is on its way. Well, was on its way out.
Right. But what I was saying was, an academy player of that age, 10, 11, the contract, or the contract that you sign with an academy only lasts, I'm sure, it used to be, it was 12 months.
Yeah.
Right? So that I can't see, I don't know where this story's coming about, they're stopping him signing for another. I can't see that being possible, mate, to be honest.
Okay.
Where did you read that? Where did you read that to?
I'll put it, someone told me.
Yeah, but that's the problem. Once this goes into circulation,
I completely. That's why
you get to look at the facts. But the fact is,
that's why I'm a bit standoffish on this whole story, really, because there's allegations and counter allegations and counter allegations, and as you said, it is very, very murky. It is murky.
But the bit, and I'm not. I tell you where I'm not surprised, right? When I went to academy games or academy training sessions at Cardiff City, well, it was my son actually. He went. He was at Bristol City, right? He went to Cardiff. Cardiff pulled him in to have a go. We went once, and I tell you what, it was the most disorganised setup then, in my opinion, that I've ever seen. Right? And I'll tell you why. Right? First, the communication with the parents was shocking. First of all, it was training's Wednesday, I think. So we went to the Wednesday one. When we went to the Wednesday one, right? You know me, I ain't got any patience anyway.
Yeah.
But we went to a bit like you blowing your nose on the show. But we went on the Wednesday, right? Now they had in that age group there was 5 new lads going in, which my lad was one of them, and 4. The kids who just were literally like herded around like cattle. Right, you lot go in that room over there for the minute, right? So I had to fill out the paperwork and all the rest of it, and then there's 4 new lads who don't know the rest of the squad. No introduction. No, this is so and so. This is so and so. No decorum. No organisation. So if you've got a shy lad, like one of the lads who went was very shy.
Yeah.
Right. He just bottled it and didn't even go to train, mate. Right. Remember, we're talking young kids.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so he went straight away, and I just thought, keep your mouth shut. They too close to home, all this with Cardiff City at the time and all the rest of it. Anyway, they'd done it. Mojo was with me, and they started doing a drill. And they'd done this drill, and they'd done that drill. And then the coach, and I'm not going to mention him, right? I don't think he's there anymore anyway, stood there gossiping with another coach with his back to the kids, right? And so they were in a line. They're in a line drill. So you go up, and you kids were getting jumped in the line, so they didn't even get a go. Right now, to me, that's not
welcoming at all.
Not just not welcoming, but that's not in control of your session. That's not in control of your children. That's not because these are kids, young kids, right? And he wasn't in control of anything. So from the minute we got there, right, to the minute the drills went on, and then it was like, right, we go. He hadn't even watched anything, right? He hadn't even watched anything. He just chatted through the whole hour or whatever it was, right? Luckily for my lad, he knew one of the lads anyway, so he was sort of a bit chatty with him. Anyway, so that was that. And then next session is Thursday the so and so. Right. So we drive down there, right, and there's no one about. So I said to where's the I was cancelled, mate. Did you get an email? No. Right. So I spoke to one of the fellas whose other son was new in. Did you get an email then, mate? Because he turned up as well, obviously. Yeah. And this is the fucking organisation of it, right? And so it was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And so we never bothered going again, mate, to be honest. We carried on with Bristol City, and then he went up to Aston Villa and all that sort of stuff. But that was just the chaos. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the picture of chucking a load of kids on a minibus, that age is just letting them have a free fall on a minibus on a way to away game. And obviously this is what's happened with this 10, 11-year-old whatever situation. But I would imagine there was no control over it, mate. Whether there was a coach on the minibus or not, who knows?
Jonathan Davis says the statement also said it was between the youth. Didn't involve any senior players or staff, which basically rectifies what you just said.
Well, yeah, they have young coaches there, mate, who have done their badges. It wouldn't be at that age. You just get academy coaches, mate. They're on peanut money, right? Yeah. And they're on peanut money, and they've got their badges, and they're basically students, mate. That's all they are.
Yeah.
But is that wrong? Is that the right process for kids in academies of football? No, but I think the majority academy, well, not the majority, a large poor Cardiff City's was very poor, put it that way. Right. And that's not having to dig at Cardiff City. It was just very poor.
No. Hey, no, it's in the news. That's why we're talking about it.
Now, when we went to Bodymoor Heath up in Villa, right? Totally. And funny enough, who was there was Mark Delaney, the old City player. Yeah, and unbelievable there, mate. The difference was huge, massive. He turned up in his West Ham kit, and they said, "You can't wear that." And they got a kit ready for him for when they get there, you know. And you wear this, and the way the whole thing is structured there was amazing, absolutely amazing. And it made Cardiff look like a circus, mate, to be honest. And that's probably, why you don't develop any players.
Let's talk about something more close to your heart, then. We talked about my club. Let's talk about your club. What's this and this takeover, then, dear? The takeover, this so-called opening bid. For what it's reported.
One that I do believe on this occasion, Sullivan's called it right. Right? He said it was for a property deal more than a football deal, and also I believe.
Come on! This is right.
No, come on at all. 400 million is probably 400 million. Listen, if you wanted to take over West Ham United and you actually had the money to do it, we all know the best way to start it off is to incite the fans, because it's very well known that a lot of fans aren't happy with Sullivan and Gold and Brady, right? This has been leaked to the press on purpose, far too quick for this is to try and force a cheap deal, mate. Right? West Ham United is worth more than 400 million quid, right? For one. Two, the one line of we give all the transfer, we want to bolster David Moyes' transfer funds. Fuck off! You don't even own the club yet, mate. Right? You're saying that to wind the fans up, to start calling. Trying to force your way in. Yeah. Sullivan, which I do believe, he also said it's more of a property deal than a football deal. And he's got to think of the supporters for the longevity of the supporters. And the last thing a West Ham supporter needs is another chairman or whatever board coming in more interested in property than football on the pitch. Now, I know a football chairman who said to me when Sullivan actually bought West Ham, he said that's a property deal. Yeah, which it turned out to be, didn't it?
No,
right? You could argue it's better. It hasn't gone well, is it? But no, I don't want to. If we're going to change owners, I want someone who's coming in committed to football.
Hey,
and I don't want some
try to force
consortium.
We try to force it. We try to.
Can't hear you, mate. Can't hear you. Go on. Hello.
Come on, man.
Can hear you now.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, mate. It's your end, not mine.
Yeah, I know. To be honest, I don't know if it was my internet or your internet. We both went.
No, mine. I got me super woofer kicking now, mate.
Or it must be a storm, maybe a storm clouds. I don't know. So
Yeah, it's black out there. It's black out there. It's black out there. But yeah, as a West Ham fan, mate, at the end of the day, yes, I'd like to see a new ownership, and I'd like to see someone come in and probably do a better job than Sullivan and Gold. I don't think they've done a terrible job as everyone makes out. It's very much a case of be thankful for what you've got more than what you wish for, sort of thing, you know.
Jonathan's calling it as my internet.
Yeah, it is your internet, mate. It is. So, but no. So yeah, I'm disappointed at the minute that I'm trying to sit on my hands at the minute. We don't seem to be making any moves in the transfer market at all. I'll play you.
All right. It's very fucking hypocritical of Sullivan to say, this is a property deal. When you know yourself, even as a West Ham fan, a diehard West Ham fan like yourself, you know yourself, the only reason in which they're holding off is when they get that stadium, they're going to do a property deal themselves.
Oh, yeah, of course they are, mate. We all know that.
How hypocritical is that of Sullivan?
No, but a football chairman, I'm not going to mention his name, but he's a top bloke, and you know him. You know who he is. Said to me when Sullivan bought the club, right? And his chairman had a lot of dealings with Dave Sullivan because Dave Sullivan tried buying the club that he was the chairman of, right? But he said to me straight away, it's a property deal. And of course, it turned out to be flogged Upton Park, moved up to the Olympic Stadium, da-di-da-di-da. Yeah, of course it was. But it also, I suppose, I haven't seen any. This is what pisses West Ham fans off, right? We haven't seen any major improvement since leaving Upton Park. None of us wanted to leave Upton Park, right? Now, that could have been done at Tottenham, rebuilt. The bus station behind's gone, right? That could have been built over. All the plans show that ground could have been extended, right? But we were promised that if we moved to the Olympic Stadium, it was going to drastically change. We were promised retractable seating to get rid of the running track. And we haven't had none of it, mate.
Yeah,
I know. We finished, to be fair, if I'm going to be brutally honest, I think we finished 6th in the Premiership last season. 1, because there's no crowds at ground. And that's not all about the West Ham fans, but away games were easier to win. Right? It was always like a home game wherever you play.
Yeah.
I think that played into our favour. I know it's the same for everybody, mine, but I think that played into our favour. I think we got lucky not lucky, you make your own luck, but Souček and Kufal were 2 low-budget signings, should we say.
Oh, what? My 2 new buddies from where I'm going to meet on Wednesday.
Yeah. But no, seriously, but you asked me a serious question. I'm giving you a serious
no.
Right? So I don't give a fuck about you going to see the Czech Republic. You haven't invited me. Right? But no. So everyone says, we finished 6th. Yeah, 1 season we finished 6th. In a very strange season.
Yeah.
Right? Transfer market this time round again. You know, the move for Pellegrini. What a cock up that was. What a joke that was. Right? Millions spent. Now we're back. We're coming up. We've still got 1 striker, mate. Right? You can't play a season with 1 striker. We got obviously no intention of another striker in because we've given Antonio the number 9 shirt. That tells you something, doesn't it?
Yeah, I know.
No main strikers coming in. And we sit here. I'll play you. I rang all day today. Agents, right? I'll play it on my microphone now if you can hear it. Hang on, I'll put it on loudspeaker first. So, how do you do this?
Hi, mate. Yeah, they haven't done any business yet, have they, West Ham? It's a bit surprising. yeah, sometimes the chairmans are a bit trigger and they're getting things flying in. But yeah, I'm not really too sure what they're seeing, but I might be going to watch him today. I've got a lad that's at West Ham. Southend playing tonight. So I might be going down to that fixture, to be fair. So we'll see how it all goes, mate. But yeah, if I hear anything, I'll keep you posted, mate. How are you anyway? How's everything going? Good to catch up soon. All right, cheers, pal.
Right, that's one of my... I've had that same conversation with every football agent I've probably known for the last 10 years today, and nobody's getting a sniff on movement at West Ham. Which is unheard of, mate. As you know, we normally know when things are either moving or something's going to take place. And I'm seriously concerned because Antonio's got hamstrings like fucking breadsticks. And the worry is they think, is it the case? They think, oh, we got away with it last year, we'll get away with it this year.
Yeah.
Very strange, mate. You just finished 6th in the Premiership. You think you'd be really making an effort to crack on, wouldn't you? And push on.
I know, especially you. Okay, it's not the most European money, but the Europa League money has definitely improved in the last year or two compared to what it used to be. I don't know.
It's 40 million, mate. Just the value of getting into Europe is 40 million, right?
Yeah.
Then I'm sorry, man. Looking for me nicotine tabs. Don't know where I've left them. And 40 million there. Then you get X amount of millions extra for finishing 6th in the Premiership. It's just concerning, mate. It's concerning.
Yeah,
I say, when you support a club and you love that club, like we all do, we all got our clubs that we love. Mine's West Ham. You try and give them the benefit of the doubt everywhere, right? And at the moment, I'll be honest, I'm thinking, right, what they're doing, they're stopping leaks coming out of the club now because West Ham are terrible for leaking information out, right?
Yeah, but you know as well as me, most of the leaks come from Sullivan himself.
Well, they have done in the past, yeah. Not all of them, but there was his sons, of course, in the previous time and everything. But but this is what I'm saying. You want to believe, so through your blind loyalty, right? So you take the stance of well, they're keeping it all quiet and hush hush, and then you're going to get 3 or 4 signings come in of real outstanding, and they're keeping it quiet to keep the prices down instead of making the mistake of leaking everything, which is in the past backfired every time. Yeah. Even backfired getting Martin O'Neill as manager, didn't it? Right?
Yeah.
So not that I wanted Martin O'Neill anyway. I think it'd have been hopeless. But yeah, no, it's weird, mate.
But there's a few more questions towards you in the chat. First of all, Pete says we're winning a league. He says we're winning a league.
I hope so.
Jonathan Davis said, "Were Golden Sullivan ever honest about the fact that he was selling Birmingham?"
Yeah, I think they were. It's a long time ago now, wasn't it? When he sold Birmingham, Sullivan, I remember Sullivan saying, he came out with a comment that everybody picked up on actually, was that he didn't enjoy the travelling for home and away games, right? And that's one of the reasons he wanted to sell the club. I remember him coming out with some comment like that because he was obviously living in Essex and having to travel up to Birmingham all the time.
I got you.
Strange comment when you can have an helicopter and a Rolls Royce.
Yeah, no, I know.
But,
I understand how disappointing it must be to have left the old city. You know, even as an away fan, I love going up in the park.
But the thing is, though, there was no, in my and many other people's opinion, there was no reason to leave. They say the stadium was crumbling a bit. Anything can be refurbished, can't it?
Yeah,
it can be extended on. It wasn't as if it couldn't be extended on.
I watched that documentary you told me about a couple of weeks ago, and the community it smashed. Is incredible.
Wiped it out, mate. Wiped it out, and that was all part of. I grew up in that community, right? As a young kid, I grew up there. Yeah, I'd go back to it every time I could, And yeah, it smashed it, mate. Smashed it. And if you think about it, you think about the stand where the chicken run was. That was a tiny little stand. You're telling me that can do? Look at Cardiff. I'm not being go back to your club. Fair play to Vincent Tan. I'll build on that stand, and he whacked another one on, didn't he? That can be done at most football clubs. So at the Olympic Stadium, they were on about buying it, weren't they? And they were bartering with Tottenham at the time, weren't they? And then it became a rented ground, which I haven't got a problem with it being rented. That doesn't bother me because most football clubs, like Cardiff Cities, they can't sell the ground. It's never going to be owned because of the way the council have got it tied up, so nobody can rip it off.
Yeah.
It's not. You don't really own it. Do you know what I mean? It's not like you go and buy a house. So rent Man City are in the same boat with
exactly.
The Commonwealth Games is exactly the same deal. So that side don't bother me. Don't get me wrong. It was a great bit of business by Sullivan and Gold to get that stadium for £2 million a year. That's all it costs, and have the taxpayer fund the rest. What a great move! And if you're a really clever businessman, I think Sullivan's plan is to buy the ground, buy the white elephant off the government for fucking nothing.
Yeah, because it's losing millions every year.
Exactly. So they're going to want to offload it eventually. We don't know what's going on behind it, but I think that's the motive behind it. That'd be one of the motives why. And the other thing he won't sell the club for at the moment is because there's a time scale that he can't sell it unless he pays a lot of the money back to all to do with the Olympic Stadium again.
Yeah.
Right. He can't take advantage for so many years or whatever. I can't remember what the regulations are now. It's late at night. But so no, the bid. And the trouble with these bids, everybody gets excited, but it's a bit like Nathan with Newcastle. Mike Ashley's done a great job in Newcastle.
Yeah.
He saved them from liquidation and he finished 13th for them. But they all, we want him out. I've seen it when, you think you're going to have these wonderful, fantastic.
The grass is always greener.
No, exactly, mate. Exactly. And it's a worrying thing that as soon as, of course, these I hate the word consortium when it comes to football. Because that's all a consortium is a few business people who end up bickering within a group of people who thinks best. Well, it can be that as well, can't it? But but they excite people. They excite people, though, mate. They excite the fans of a takeover because people instantly think of a Man City type takeover.
Yeah.
And everybody wants to win every week. Of course, we all want to win. But I want my football club there in the next 50 years, the next 100 years. So my son, my grandson and all that, when I'm long gone, still can share the same experience. Well, they're never going to be able to share the same experience because they won't be able to go to Upton Park. But, it's hard. It's a hard one, mate. It's a hard one. Before I read Tame's question, I'm going to put a challenge out to people in the chat. I want, during this show, the first ever super chat, right? That is the challenge. Me and Dia work out fucking arse off for you lot, right? We get a boost off everybody because of you lot. So the first super chat, let's see who sends it. Taib says, Dia, remember those Canyon Canute days? Oh, great day, especially Canyon, mate. Fucking yeah. I just go and watch him every week, and it was just a dream, mate. Especially that era. Then in that era as well, we had Tricky Trevor Sinclair, obviously DiCanio, Dixie. I mean, it was good times. But what he could do with the football was amazing. It was unbelievable, mate. Yeah. Sam, Moyes should have won Manager of the Year. Should have done. I think he would have if he got the Champions League spot. He should have done anyway, mate. He performed miracles last year. But, who won it in the end? Some glory hunter? Jonathan Davis says, the confusing one was selling Haller with no replacements. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but what a bad signing he was in the first place, though. But I suppose they needed that money for the Lingard loan. Well, that's what they claim, isn't it? Oh, Who knows, mate? Who knows? But yeah, it's a possibility, isn't it?
Yeah. Zach Archer, hi Zach, hope you're well. Moyes overachieved massively last year.
Oh,
I
cheers,
think it'd be relegation battle.
Mate.
Sorry?
I said, cheers, Zach. Thanks for the confidence, bug. But yeah, if we don't sign some lucky players soon, I wouldn't be surprised.
No, but what people are saying, and Zach does come back with it on that, is basically we know there's a trend that says,
oh, big time. I would have rather
we play on a Thursday and a Sunday, and your league results are going to suffer.
Yeah. And to be honest, Browner, if I'm truthfully honest, and I think I said on some show or whatever the other day, maybe it was on here. I wish we hadn't qualified for Europe, mate. Right? If we should have qualified for the Champions League, because we threw away games like Newcastle. We lost twice to them, for example, right? And there was other games that we threw away points big time, right? We just weren't at the races, right? And we played some negative tactics against some top teams as well. Moyes made a couple of mistakes there. But in my opinion, we should have finished in the chip by fluke. You got your first...
I know. I'm just waiting for you to finish.
Yeah. So, going into Europe really worries me. We know your form dips. Our squad's not big enough for a start. You know, our squad is way from thin last year. We brought in no signings. So this is what is really concerning. And yeah. I could honestly see us in a relegation scrap. To be honest. I don't think it would go down, but I don't think we'd be mid-table if we don't get our arse in gear and deepen the squad. I think we'd be struggling around, that just above the bottom. To be honest,
and I'd say Zach Archer with the first super chat. Way, we getting it, Steve. We getting it. No, $2.50 each. Well, technically,
I'll never see it. Don't worry, mate.
Never mind. I'll send you a bottle of Fanta, okay?
Anyway, while you're on, Zach, come and subscribe to the Days Banter Show, mate. That's the one.
Many thanks, Zach. Many thanks, my friend.
Put the link in, Browner.
I will now, actually. I won't. Well, you keep on. You'll have to.
I don't want money. I just want subs.
You'll have to keep on talking, okay?
Yeah. What's the next question, then? What's the next question? Be a side cracking. Days Banter is far more professional. Yeah, I've got a show. It's called the Days Banter Show, and you'll find it on YouTube anyway. Brownie's gone to find the link. Well, obviously, a lot of the banter is football, and we do have other quite funny subjects as well, like the Whopper story. It's when you come on the show, you find out what it's about. The biggest whoppers of the day, and we talk about all sorts, really. Good laugh, good crack. West Ham random. I'm just joking.
Right.
Scroll up. Any comments up, mate? Because they were scrolling. Sorry. There's a good couple ones gone.
Guys, I'm going to have to jump a few comments. Okay, so I do apologise. We still gutted. We are not at Ninian Park anymore. The atmosphere. Yeah. It killed me.
I agree. Yeah, I started watching Cardiff and obviously living in locally, and Cardiff, as I've said before, reminded me of West Ham, just lower down the league. Really, same trials and tribulations. Great bunch of lads to go and watch a football with. Great football players, down to earth players at the time. The move from Ninian Park.
I think
it broke a lot of people's hearts.
It's a strange way.
For me, it was never the same at I call it the Legoland. I hope I'm not offending anyone by calling that. A nice stadium, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. There was too many. I don't know. History was taken, and I remember having this.
It kind of like professionalized the club in a way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But
the club went too serious then. After the move, the club went too serious for the fans who fell in love with it because of a crack, really.
But even inside, I'll tell you a story, actually, and Cardiff fans might be interested in this. When the ground was moved, Peter Isdale put all the old furniture up for auction. right? For a cheap auction house in Cardiff.
Yeah, no, Let
me finish. And even in that auction, he put in the board table, right? That had been there from probably 1920, 1980, when the Cardiff start, I can't remember. When 18 something, but it was the early 1900s, if I remember rightly. The big oak board table you all sat around to have your board meetings. And Ridsdale threw it in for auction. Now, the best director Cardiff City ever had, and still have, is Steve Borley. And he went and bought the table himself to reinstall it back at the new ground. And that was the mentality. That summed up the mentality for me of how it all went wrong when they moved stadium. You know, mural, what they call them, mural paintings of players on it. It's like walking into a kids' park. Do you know what I mean? All those PlayStation games. I know Jenks, me mate, was part of all that. And he says, fan interaction and this and that and that. Okay, that's modern day football, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
It's not football to me. You know, your kids going into play a PlayStation in a football ground. Through the turn, I'm old school. I know. Through the turns, on the terrace.
I know. I just want to. You know, I just want to buy a shit hot dog.
I can remember being a young kid going to Upton Park with me. That's what I was about to say. The big highlight for me going to Upton Park with me old man when I was really little was the Bovril at half time. You couldn't wait to get your hands on it. Your fingers were fucking freezing.
You'll end up having fucking mushrooms on your tongue because
that's right. Yeah. I think Indian Park was worn out. It was worn out more than Upton Park was, but Upton Park wasn't that far behind. But I get some of it. I do get, in a way, the modern way you have to go to compete. But you refurb the grounds, in my opinion. Tottenham, I hate to say this, I can hate to say it, but they did it the right way.
Yeah. But I as an away fan, I like White Hart Lane as well.
But I don't think you'll notice, as an away fan, you'll notice how great their new stadium is. And they got all the extra seats in. It's all plat and posh. You know, I mean, that's how you do. You refurb your old ground. And, you know, it didn't happen at Upton Park. I got it twice. It didn't happen in Indian Park. It didn't happen at Upton Park.
Yeah. Evening, chaps. Sam said, what time the Canyon stopped play when the goalkeeper was injured? That was at Everton, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And when he played against Sheffield Wednesday, obviously Paul Durkin, wasn't he? Wasn't he, ref?
No, it was. I'll come to a minute. Fucking showboating money. Paul. It was Paul. I'm sure it was Paul.
Sure, it was Paul Durkin.
Allcock, wasn't it?
Paul, right.
Paul Allcock, one of them. But he took a dive anyway. But that was the best thing that ever happened for West Ham was Di Canio pushing that ref over because we were able to buy him on the cheap. Nobody wanted him, and then he proved everybody wrong.
Right, we're gonna have to finish off. Box, lads. We're gonna have to finish off. I'm gonna have to go Cardiff now soon. I got to do work overnight. Steve, Celtic West Ham tomorrow. Are you watching it?
Yeah, I'll watch it on there. I might do a watch along for a bit of fun on that, actually.
Yeah, well, I was thinking of doing a watch along, actually.
Well, you can, because you're a Cardiff fan and everybody will be on my channel, so you won't get anybody. You're all subscribing tonight to the Days Banter Show, aren't you, lads? Yeah, and you're going to come watch West Ham and Celtic.
You know, I don't really. It's only people who, help me out in which I do try and advertise their channels as well. And you all know Steer helps me out big time. We help each other out really.
Well, we've known each other a long time, mate.
His channel is really going places. You can tell, and obviously, as we've known in the last week or two, it's got people talking, which is what you wanted anyway, dear.
Yeah. I just enjoy doing it, mate. You introduced me to this YouTube and whatever it's called. I'd never even watched anything. Yeah. It was during lockdown. I ended up with a quiz. With Sam Greenwood and some Arsenal lad, and thought, this is a laugh. And then obviously started watching you, and then it just went on, and obviously I'm semi-retired and whatever. So I sit at my desk watching me businesses doing what they should be doing, and so it's great to talk through the day on the mic. And I've always been one to love to talk. You know, I was probably the best salesman ever selling furniture.
It's like two things that happened to COVID. I've got two addictions. One addiction is bloody YouTube. The other one is fucking cryptocurrency. I wake up in the morning, I look at my crypto bloody wallet before I would look at Facebook.
Yeah, that's the time I do cuss you, because all mine, ever since you introduced me to it, I've lost money.
On the way up in the last quarter, don't you worry about that. Right, guys, going to have to go. Love you and leave you. Many thanks. Many thanks as well to Zach for that super chat as well. Much appreciated.
And come over and subscribe, please. The Day's Banter Show.
Yeah,
I only need 2 more for 80. I know it's not a big number. I'd love 100. Right? It's only been going 2 weeks, but if you can, I really appreciate you if you could. And Sam, yeah, I might be back on later on, mate. I've just got a couple of things I've got to sort out, and I've got to try and sort this green screen out and get it. Start spending money on these shows, mate. I've got the microphone was £119. I started off with a green screen at £24. That went back because it was shit, right? And it didn't fill the screen. Bought this great meat monster for £125. And now it looks like I need floodlights to come onto it. This is and I haven't earned a dime. And all these YouTubers making all this money. There sits me on 77 subs, pissing money up against the wall.
Right, listen, I'm off. Many thanks to you, much appreciated. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Yeah,
I'm probably going to chat for when if you are live later on. Or
I might go later, mate. I'll be on 10 o'clock. Yeah, could do, mate. Could do. So if I just got to get a few things sorted out, 3 things that cropped up this afternoon with business and whatever, and with the addiction of YouTubing, talking to Jake.
It is.
I was on a charity one for Jakey early on. I think we raised 100 quid on there, which was good. I stripped on that one. If you haven't seen that show on West Ham Unfit, I threatened to strip unless they started chucking the super chats in. So I got my shirt off and they all started panicking and the money started rolling in.
Right. Go. I gotta go.
All right, mate. See you later. See you everyone. Take care.